way through challenge.
Oh!
The shot into the top corner. In it comes and header by Milenković is in! The penalty area, right hand side.
Yes!
Near post and scores!
Yes!
Callum Hudson-Odoi puts it into the near post! The commentary match day from 2. Neat football from Forest through Yates, and it might break back for Yates at the edge of the box. Hits
yes!
And rebound falls to Chris Wood, and Wood stabs it home. Opening day, Wood continues where he left off last season. Good football from Forest involving Yates and Elanga. Quick passing, the ball broke back to Yates on the edge of the box. His shot was saved, but Neco couldn't keep hold of it, and the parry fell straight to Chris Wood. Elanga to take the corner, 24 second half minutes played, it's into the mixer, it's headed out again to Neco Williams, who drives, that's blocked, and it'll fall kindly for Aribo, but it's well won by Williams. Hudson-Odoi up to the back post for Gibbs-White to head it down,
yes!
Come back to him, and he stabs it in. Morgan Gibbs-White scores, and Forest break the deadlock. Just approaching 70 minutes at St Mary's. Lovely little dinked cross back post for Morgan Gibbs-White to head down, and as it was blocked, as it has been so many times by the Southampton defence, it came back to Gibbs-White. Here is Anderson, high towards the back post, Wood with a free header.
Yes!
1-0 Forest. Chris Wood scores. Elliot Anderson's delivery. Chris Wood with the header. There was just nobody around him, and he headed it back across the face of goal and inside the far post. Wolves surround the referee, Simon Hooper. Simon Hooper straight away, you could see him touching his earpiece and was obviously in contact with his VARs just to check that everything's okay with the goal. Towards the edge of the box, good tackle by Milenković, and then a really good little layoff from Gibbs-White to Elanga, and Elanga races away down the right hand side, and he's into Liverpool territory and fires a crossfield ball to Hudson-Odoi. Really good ball from right to left. Hudson-Odoi cutting in onto his right foot.
Yes!
It's in from Callum Hudson-Odoi. It's a wonderful, wonderful break and a marvellous finish from Hudson-Odoi from just outside the box. Right foot curled it beyond Alisson, and Liverpool have conceded for the first time this season, and Forest have the lead with 27 minutes played in the second half. Wonderful break, right from the back to front. Gibbs-White's layoff, Elanga's pace, wonderful ball across field from Elanga to Hudson-Odoi, cut in on his right foot and bent one low past Alisson. From the penalty spot against Bart Verbruggen, away to our left-hand side. Wood waits, begins his run up now and strokes it low into the bottom corner, sends Verbruggen the wrong way. And in the battle of the unbeaten sides in the Premier League, it is Forest who strike first. On the break, Gibbs-White leading the charge into the penalty area. Hudson-Odoi brought down, penalty given. Chris Wood strokes it low into the bottom corner.
Then he rolled back and they don't follow a router back, and they get turned, and then they're playing with an overload in the midfield, and off they go.
That's nice play by Forest, and it's got Jota Silva away. Jota Silva inside left channel with Sosa to his right, and Sosa taps in as it's squared back to him, and it's 2-2. They'll have a look to make sure that Jota Silva was onside, but as long as he was, the substitutes have combined again. It was lovely football through midfield until Morgan Gibbs-White slid the ball down the inside left channel for Jota Silva to race onto, and Silva and Sosa were away and in the clear, and Jota Silva squared it unselfishly for Sosa to tap in from a few yards out, and Ramón Sosa gets his first Forest goal and celebrates in front of the travelling supporters. Crowd are booing, but Nicholas Jackson's the one who's taken ages to retreat the 10 yards. Ward-Prowse forward, Milenković, and he's turned in! Milenković won the header at the back post, and then Chris Wood stretched and got a little toe end to it. Maybe just touched it with his studs beyond Robert Sanchez. Ward-Prowse delivery to the back edge of the penalty area. Milenković with the towering header at the back post. And Chris Wood lunging in, just got something on it to slightly change the direction. And Forest are ahead at Stamford Bridge, 4 minutes into the second half.
I want to see Forest throw a few more punches in succession and hopefully break them down, because we've got the quality to do it, and we've shown it.
Chalobah heads only half away to Wood, who hits it first time and in! Chris Wood scores! Wood gets another goal. He's hit it from outside the penalty area. After a long ball forward was headed away, but only as far as Chris Wood, and from a couple of yards outside the box, left-hand side of the field, he's caught Dean Henderson out by his near post with a quick snapshot, which gives him his 5th goal of the season and puts Forest in front 20 minutes into the second half. It's that man again, it's Chris Wood. And it's Forest 1, Crystal Palace 0. It actually came off the top of Yates' head, and now Forest win it back on the edge of the penalty area. They have to go backwards, and this is Elliot Anderson wriggling back into the box. As he shoots, it's blocked. It's half cleared again as far as Yates.
Yes!
Just a shot into the bottom corner from the edge of the penalty area. Wouldn't you just know it? Here at the King Power Stadium, it's the Forest captain Ryan Yates who gives his side the lead after 16 minutes. Leicester twice had the opportunity to get the ball clear, and the second time the clearance fell to Ryan Yates, centre of the field, just outside the penalty area, and he may not have caught it completely cleanly, but it's gone low into the bottom corner to give Ryan Yates his 1st goal of the season and to give Forest a perfect start here at the King Power Stadium. Indeedy, and then Moreno wins it back and back heels to Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi for Anderson, inside left channel into the penalty area, squares it for Wood. Wood turns, goes in! Lovely finish from Chris Wood, a magnificent turn and hit low into the bottom corner, and 2 minutes into the second half, Wood, against one of his former clubs, has done it again. 6th goal of the season in 9 games for Chris Wood, and Forest lead by 2 goals to 1. Really good football down the left-hand side. Was in the air, Milenković behind them to send it back to Sells. Sells clears long, Wood trying to get on the end of this, trying to get goal side of
Go on!
And he might...
Yes!
He's headed it in! It's another one for Chris Wood! Fast tried to head it backwards towards his goalkeeper. Wood was in between them. There was 9 off on the header, and Wood, with the deftest of headed lobs, puts Forest 3-1 ahead. Wood's got 2 at Leicester, and he's got 7 for the season in 9 games now. And Forest lead Leicester City here at the King Power by 3 goals to 1. Long ball downfield from Matt Sells. Wood running onto it. Woutfass with a poor header back to his keeper, and then Wood with a classy finish in front of him, so holds on to it. Now Gibbs-White has it, and he's sent a ball forward towards Moreno, trying to break the lines. Moreno into the penalty area, left-hand side, tight to the byline, pulls it.
Yes!
Wood's header! It's in! It's Chris Wood again!
Woody, Woody, Woody!
Fantastic run from Alex Moreno, and beautifully picked out by Morgan Gibbs-White. Moreno's cross, Wood's header from close range. He doesn't miss them in the form he's in at the moment. 8 goals for the season now for Chris Wood. In game number 10, he scored again. Moreno with the break forward, perfect cross. Wood with the nod down from close range, and 27 minutes in, Forest get the breakthrough. They lead West Ham by a goal to 0. West Ham penalty area. Left-hand side, and it's going to be taken by Elliot Anderson. Rolls it back to the edge of the box for Hudson-Odoi to cut.
Oh!
It's in! Hudson-Odoi's done it! It's 2-0 Forest.
Game over.
Lucas Fabianski. Well, I don't know how that beat him. It looked like he had it covered. And then suddenly it was past him, and it had curled into the Trent End net. Hudson-Odoi with his 2nd goal of the season, Forest with their 2nd goal of the afternoon. It's Forest 2, 10-man West Ham 0. Wood in the first half, Hudson-Odoi in the second. Second was in stoppage time at the end of the first half. Ola Aina here has bulldozed his way through challenge.
Oh!
Bounce a shot into the top corner from the edge of the penalty area. Left-footed Ola Aina has absolutely blasted that into the top corner. West Ham had 2 or 3 chances to get the ball off him. They didn't do so. Aina kept going, and he has absolutely thundered that into the top left-hand corner of the Trent End net. 3-0 Forest, 12 minutes to go. West Ham in disarray, and Ola Aina gets his first goal of the season in some style. And it's going to be taken by Elanga and headed in. It's a goal for Forest, and it's Murillo. Murillo scores for Forest with the header from the free kick. And finally, the Brazilian gets his first Forest goal. He's threatened to do it in all sorts of spectacular ways, but it's a little deft header across the face of the goal from Elanga's free kick, which gives Murillo his first Forest goal, and he celebrates in front of the A block. Joined Brian Roy as Forest's all-time Premier League leading goal scorer in front of the Trent End. A couple of minutes into the second half, 8 goals already this season for Chris Wood. Murillo is a huge figure, all in yellow, in that goal, 6'5". And it is going to be Chris Wood with his right foot, starting his run up right on the edge of the penalty area. Comes up now and blasts it straight down the middle and in. And Chris Wood scores from the penalty spot and gives Forest an early second half lead. Forest 1, Ipswich 0. Wood's 9th of the season. Wood's 24th Premier League goal for Forest. He joins Brian Roy on the all-time Premier League scorers list. Outswinging corner to come. United with everybody back inside the penalty area. In it comes, and header by Milenković is in. 90 seconds in, Nikola Milenković scores his first Forest goal. Corner from Elliot and Milenković 6 yards out with a bullet header. Fired it past Onana, who never even moved. And Forest, just like they did here last year, have the perfect start. Last year they couldn't find the perfect end. Can they go on from this? Perfect platform. Nikola Milenković, his first goal for the club. For naught, but that's given away by Bruno Fernandes to Hudson-Odoi. He lays it off to his right for Gibbs-White, top of the D. Yes! He scores! Morgan Gibbs-White scores for Forest, and just like they did in the first half, they've scored inside 2 minutes of the second half as well. Morgan Gibbs-White from the top of the D may have deflected because it was very close to Andre Onana, but he couldn't do anything to keep it out. Gibbs-White with the knee slide in front of the Forest fans, away to our right-hand side. The edge of the box, brought down brilliantly by Anderson. Jota gives it to Gibbs-White again, wide right. He crosses back post for Chris Wood to head it across the face of goal and in. Wood scores. Forest are in front by 3 goals to 1. Chris Wood makes it double figures for the season, and Chris Wood becomes Forest's all-time leading Premier League goal scorer. A lovely cross from Morgan Gibbs-White to the back post, and Wood from beyond the back post headed it back across the face of goal and inside the far post. 4 minutes plus added time to go. 1-0 Aston Villa. Elliot Anderson with the corner, headed away near post, comes out for Neco Williams. He's 30 yards out. He's still got Anderson away to the right. Instead he's found Gibbs-White inside right channel. He fires over the cross. Milenkovic's header! This one will count! Milenković scores again! 2-2 for the big Serbian, and Forest are level this time. Just had one ruled out by VAR, and now they're back on terms. Cross from the right-hand side, and Nikola Milenković got up and got his head to the ball from close range. Martinez did his best to keep it out, but this time was unable to do so. And Forest are on terms. Williams shoots, that's blocked though by Diego Carlos. He clears, but Morato intercepts in front of Cash. Gives it to Hudson-Odoi, level with the edge of the box. Tries to thread it through for Jota. Anderson wins it again off Cash into the penalty area. Hits the line.
Yes!
It's Elanga! Elanga scores his first goal of the season, and Forest have turned it right round in stoppage time. Elanga from Elliot Anderson's pull back from the byline, runs across, side foots home and celebrates in front of the Trent end. Elanga gets his first goal. He gets Forest's second of the afternoon, and from being a goal down with 3 minutes to go, Forest, with 3 minutes of added time to go, are now 2-1 ahead against Aston Villa.
Yeah, brilliant play from Elliot Anderson. They're actually tiring a little bit, but you can see it visibly.
Elliot Anderson, good ball forward towards Hudson-Odoi, who's charging forward now towards the edge of the penalty area. Hudson-Odoi left side with Williams outside him. Here is Neco Williams, hits the byline, low ball pulled across, back post.
Oh, yes!
Aina! And Forest are in front. 37 minutes. It's Aina arriving late into the penalty area and side foots home from about 10 yards out. Slight angle inside right channel, but it's really good play again down the left-hand side, and the pullback picked out Ola Aina perfectly, running onto it to clip it home, and Forest are in front at Brentford. Aina's second goal of the season. To send it forward down the right hand side, he's looking for Elanga, and Elanga takes it off Keane Lewis-Potter across the edge of the box. He shoots into the corner. Anthony Elanga scores. It's 2-0. Keane Lewis-Potter tried to control the long ball forward and presented it on a plate to Anthony Elanga, and Callum Hudson-Odoi from the other flank, he cut inside and curled a left foot shot low beyond Mark Flecken into the bottom corner. And 6 minutes into the second half, Elanga, who scored last week against Villa for his first goal of the season, now has his second, and Forest have their second of the afternoon. It's Brentford 0, Forest 2.
Well,
Into the feet of Spence, tackled by Neco Williams, and now Forest can break again. It's 4 against 4, and it's Gibbs-White. Nobody's closing him down, and he's getting Elanga in.
Yes!
Scores! Brilliant from Morgan Gibbs-White, and a fantastic finish from Anthony Elanga, who scores for the third consecutive game, gets his third goal of the season, and it's the first time in his career that he's managed to score in 3 league games in a row. But it was all made for him by Morgan Gibbs-White. Superb break. Forest have threatened to do it throughout the game. They've caught Tottenham completely cold on that break. Gibbs-White had oceans of space to run into, did so, and then measured the perfect pass for Elanga to run onto inside right channel behind the defenders. Once more for Neco Williams, infield now to Gibbs-White, who's dropped deep to send a ball forward, and it's headed on by Wood, and then he gets it back from Elanga's header. Oh, wonderful lob from Chris Wood.
Whoa.
That is a brilliant finish from Wood, who just lobs it over Jordan Pickford and into an otherwise unguarded net. But it was a wonderful ball from Gibbs-White, and then Wood and Elanga played a headed 1-2 between each other, and before the ball can drop to the ground, as it comes back to Chris Wood, he, on the volley, lobs it over Pickford and into the Everton net. 15 minutes in, and Forest have the lead at Goodison Park, and it's a wonderful goal. Superb finish, but great ball from Gibbs-White. Cleared away, though, by Neco Williams, looking for Chris Wood. Branthwaite heads it away from him. Gibbs-White looking to pick up the pieces Elanga has as it's given to him. And now here's Wood, left-hand side, rolls it into Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White left foot.
Nonch!
Lovely finish again. Everton mistake inside their own half. Elanga to Wood. Wood found Morgan Gibbs-White inside right channel, and he shifted it quickly from his right foot to his left foot to give him a different angle to fire past Jordan Pickford and give Forest a 2-0 lead after an hour here at Goodison Park. Gibbs-White on target after Wood scored in the first half. Forest have scored 15 minutes into both halves, and Gibbs-White's got room to charge into. Through the Wolves half he goes with Elanga to his right. Here is Elanga just inside the box. Back to
Yes!
He's done it already. Gibbs-White scores. He was allowed to run forward through the Wolves half, fed it off to Elanga. Elanga gave it him back, and he stands with his hands in his ears in front of the South Bank. I can't hear you, he says. Morgan Gibbs-White returns to Molineux and takes 6 minutes to get Forest ahead. As soon as Elliot Anderson found him inside his own half, you could see the space he had to run into, and that's when Forest and Gibbs-White are at their most dangerous. Elanga fed it back into him, and he swept it home from about almost the penalty spot. Of normal time at the end of the first half. Sells away down the left-hand side.
Go on, run.
Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi's nodded it past Doherty and into the penalty area. Tight angle, lays it
Yes!
back. It's two. Brilliant play from Callum Hudson-Odoi down the left wing. He's nodded it away from his man, chased after it, beaten Matt Doherty, hit the byline, centre over a low pass into the penalty area for the hitman. Chris Wood, 12th goal of the season. He wasn't going to miss that opportunity. Laid on a plate for him by Callum Hudson-Odoi. Great ball out from the back from Sells. Hudson-Odoi was brilliant, and his low ball found Chris Wood, and Wood gleefully sent home his 12th of the season. Forest second of the night. Bellegarde knocks it into the penalty area. Milenković thumps it away, and Taiwo, Awoniyi and Callum Hudson-Odoi go chasing after it, and Hudson-Odoi's got it, and Hudson-Odoi rolls it to Awoniyi. It's gone past him. This is Ward-Prowse.
Yes!
He squares it for Taiwo, Awoniyi, and Forest have a third in the 4th minute of added time. And Taiwo, Awoniyi, who's had to be so patient and play second fiddle to Chris Wood all season long, gets his first goal of the season. In the end, it's a tap-in from about 4 yards out, set up for him by James Ward-Prowse, who himself was found by Callum Hudson-Odoi on the break, deep into stoppage time. It's Wolves 0, Forest 3. 7 gone 0-0. Van Dijk heads it back into the Forest half. Elanga, though, heads this one on after Milenković won it. Anderson can't control it. Hudson-Odoi tries to win it and has done. And he sends it forward to Elanga. Elanga forward for Wood. Inside left channel. Great shot!
Yes!
Forest are ahead! It's Chris Wood! The first time they've remotely threatened the Liverpool penalty area. And Wood scores a 13th goal of the season and gives Forest the lead after 8 minutes. Liverpool sliced apart as Hudson-Odoi found Elanga, and Elanga fed in Wood inside left channel. Bang! 1-0 Forest, 8 minutes in.
Well, that's the way you counter. And Liverpool, although that was coming, they just lost the ball in a bad area. Elanga caught the ball straight away, probably about 35 yards from goal, right hand side, ducked inside onto his left foot, and slid a beautiful ball through to Chris Wood inside left position. I'm not sure where Alexander-Arnold had gone, but there's a huge gap where he should have been, really.
With almost like a 5 or 6 at the back and take away our...
Here's Anderson breaking forward.
Goal!
Into the box,
Get in.
and he fires it in from just outside the penalty area. Elliot Anderson scores a first Forest goal. He goes across towards the A block to celebrate, and the rest of the Forest players go across to join him. It's taken Forest until the 11th minute, but it was a lovely surge forward from midfield from Elliot Anderson, who saw the opportunity and from just outside the penalty area hit it low and hard beyond the outstretched right hand of Aaron Ramsdale. Elliot Anderson's first goal for Forest. It's Forest 1, Southampton 0.
Great.
Bree for Bednarek again, miscontrols it, and now Hudson-Odoi takes over. Top of the D, Hudson-Odoi, right foot shot,
Yes!
2-0 Forest. Callum Hudson-Odoi, right-footed, usually has more of an angle than that, but from straight on, from just outside the D again, just like Elliot Anderson earlier in the game, he's beaten Aaron Ramsdale from distance. Mistake at the back, punished again by Forest. A throw, Elanga takes quickly, infield to Gibbs-White, got some space, finds Wood 30 yards out. Wood turns it away to the right for Ola Aina once again. Jota down the line, Aina goes for the early cross.
Yes.
Wood's header,
Yes,
Wood. It's Chris Wood again. Beautifully placed header from Ola Aina's cross. He was a good distance out, Chris Wood, but he still steers the header wide of Aaron Ramsdale, who's beaten to his right for a third time in 41 minutes. It's Chris Wood's 14th goal of the season. Aina with the perfect cross. Wood with a beautifully steered, directed header. and it's Forest 3, Southampton 0, 4 minutes before half-time.
Like you say, with the low bar, hang on.
Oh, good ball, Danilo, right-hand side, Gibbs-White in space, hits the penalty area, low
Yes!
goal! It's deflected in off Lewis Dunk. It's an own goal and Forest are in front, 12 minutes in. Lovely pass from Danilo to get Morgan Gibbs-White away, and he went arrow straight, diagonally into the penalty area from the right wing, and then stuck a low ball in across the 6-yard box. And Lewis Dunk stuck out a leg, and it rolls inside the far post to give Forest the lead after 12 minutes. Minte's challenge means Forest have this corner, which Elanga's going to take from the left-hand side. Near post.
Yes!
What a header! Morgan Gibbs-White, flashing header near post, bullet-like into the top of the net, across the face of goal. 2-0 Forest. Gibbs-White made the first, and running across the near post, he scores the second. It's his 5th goal of the season. It's Forest's 2nd of the afternoon. 25 minutes in, a fizzed, whipped-in corner from Anthony Elanga, and Gibbs-White with the run, and perfectly timed header.
And they can't get near him at the moment.
He's driven this down the right-hand side to Ola Aina well forward, and he's found Elanga. Elanga gets away from Lamptey right-hand side. Wood's header.
Yes!
If Wood is onside, it's 3-0 Forest. Elanga's cross, Wood with the header at the back post. He was all on his own, and he's headed it down and in. I just wonder if he was offside. I'm not sure. Lewis Dunk might have been playing him on at the near post. VAR will have a look. Forest are celebrating. The assistant referee certainly kept his flag down. Chris Wood at the moment has his 15th goal of the season. And Danilo across halfway for Elanga, who's on the turn and running at Lewis Dunk. Towards the edge of the penalty area he goes. Now tries to beat Dunk on the outside.
Yes!
Wood from 1 yard. Taps in. Elanga makes it again. Superb assist from Anthony Elanga. Forest are 4-0 ahead. After 63 minutes. It's another goal for Chris Wood. 16 for the season. And so many of them created for him by Anthony Elanga. That was so quick down the right-hand side, took on Lewis Dunk on the outside, hit the byline, pulled it back low, and there's Chris Wood, a yard out for a tap-in. Forest 4, Brighton 0. Chris Wood, Trent End, runs up now, right foot, low into the corner, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, and celebrates with his teammates in front of the Trent End. Another hat-trick for Chris Wood, and Forest have 5. Oh, here they go again, Forest. This is Awoniyi, right-hand side of the penalty area, takes his man on, shoots, blocked, comes out for
penalty.
He's pushed.
Yes!
Scoops it into the top corner of the net. Forest had 4 or 5 goes at it. Brighton are determined that should be ruled out for handball, they say. Nico Williams eventually, it fell to 6 yards out to hammer it into the top corner of the net to give Forest potentially their 6th goal of the afternoon.
Yellow card to the keeper.
Verbruggen has been booked for his arguing the case. If there was a handball in there somewhere, then presumably VAR will have a look at it. But Nico Williams has scored what he thinks at the moment is his first Premier League goal of the campaign on top of it. So presumably they've just felt... it's given away by Verbruggen to Jota Silva. Jota
Yes!
7-0! Jota Silva fires low into the net after Verbruggen presented it to him on a plate inside right channel. And just a minute after Nico Williams makes it 6, Jota gets his first Premier League goal and puts Forest 7-0 ahead of Brighton. Forest 7, Brighton 0. What a comeback from last week at Bournemouth. Extraordinary scenes at the City Ground. There's still 8 minutes of added time to go. Williams, then Anderson backwards for Murillo. Murillo into the feet of Gibbs-White, did very well to control that and hold off the challenge, and now spins it forward towards Chris Wood near the edge of the penalty area. Wood's got the ball and finds some space and curls it into the corner, and out of nothing, Forest are level. second best for 36 minutes, but Chris Wood gets a first sight of goal and buries his 18th goal of the season. Hudson-Odoi has picked the pocket of Murphy and shoots from a long
Yes!
Buries it!
There you go.
Low into the corner. Hudson-Odoi takes it off Jacob Murphy in Newcastle territory, ran centrally, and from about 5 yards outside the penalty area, just looked up and measured his shot. It curled away from Nick Pope, low into the bottom corner, and 6 minutes in, with their first real attack, Forest are in front. Murphy beaten in the tackle by Hudson-Odoi, who did everything himself, went on, looked up and put it low into the corner. Fabulous goal from Callum Hudson-Odoi. Corner at the Gallagher end. Anderson, right-footed corner, near post. Elanga got the flick, it comes to Wood, back post.
Yes!
Milenković
Yes!
back heels it in, and Forest have a goal back. It's Nikola Milenković who scores 18 minutes into the second half. Anderson's corner, Elanga's flick on at the near post, Wood recycled it beyond the back post, sent it back into the 6-yard box, and Nikola Milenković was there to pretty much backheel it in.
He's definitely on tie, it's a goal.
He's onside, that will stand. Elanga sends Hudson-Odoi away and takes the corner near post, and that flicks out towards Gibbs-White, hits the
Yes!
shot, and then it's tucked in off the rebound by Ryan Yates. Forest have scored again as we approach the 90-minute mark. It was shuffled towards goal by Gibbs-White. It was deflected out straight to Yates, and from close range.
Yeah, how's a 3?
Ryan Yates has bundled home Forest's third goal.
Seems to look shattered, Aina, but he's put a lot of graft in.
Gibbs-White, what a ball that is, right wing for Hudson-Odoi. Brilliant from Gibbs-White. Hudson-Odoi into the penalty area, right hand side.
Yes!
Near post and scores!
Yes!
Callum Hudson-Odoi puts it into the near post, and Forest lead Manchester City 1-0 with 7 minutes to go. A brilliant crossfield ball from Morgan Gibbs-White. Picked out Hudson-Odoi, who ran into the penalty area and right-footed went near side. Beat Ederson in front of the Trent end. Forest 1, Manchester City 0. 7 minutes left. Hudson-Odoi's 5th goal of the season. Brilliant from Forest. From the right, out swinging. In it goes now towards the penalty spot area. Greaves heads it away. It comes out 20 yards out for Hudson-Odoi. Crosses back deep for Dominguez to head it back across the face.
Yes!
And it's volleyed in by Nikola Milenković. Milenković scores, and Forest hit the front 10 minutes before half-time at Portman Road. Nikola Milenković absolutely crashed that in, as it fell nicely for him inside the 6-yard box, just sat up right in front of him, and he belted it home. After the cross from Hudson-Odoi after Elanga's initial corner, Hudson-Odoi's ball back across to the back edge of the penalty area for then Anderson with the early ball forward to Elanga, and Forest are stretching Ipswich again, 3 against 3. Elanga into the penalty area, shoots!
Yes!
Bottom corner, 2-0. Anthony Elanga scores for Forest, and they lead Ipswich Town by 2-0 with 2 goals in 2 minutes. 2 minutes after Milenković gets his 4th of the season, so too does Anthony Elanga. Well won by Dominguez in his own half, fed forward early by Anderson, and then it was 3 against 3, and Elanga cut in from the right-hand side and curled one low into the far corner. Looking back towards Sells, Liam Delap is lurking. Milenković instead opts to clear up towards Chris Wood. That's gone over Wood and Wolfenden, and Elanga's in again to the edge.
Yes!
Straight over Wolfenden's head, 1 ball down the middle, and Anthony Elanga onto it, running centrally from the edge of the penalty area, slots it past the goalkeeper, and Forest have got 3 at Ipswich. They've scored 3 in 6 minutes, 2 of them for Anthony Elanga after Milenkovic's opener. That was a horrible goal from Ipswich to give away defensively, just over the head of Wolfenden. and Chris Wood, who are both challenging for it. Elanga just gambled, ran in behind them, got the ball and slotted it low past the goalkeeper from the edge of the penalty area. Little flick off a defender, and then Yates heads it away towards Awoniyi, and Awoniyi has held that up beautifully, and then Yates with a lovely ball to Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White and Jota, 2 against 1. Gibbs-White for Jota. Jota shoots.
Yes!
Morgan Gibbs-White finds Jota on the breakaway. Lovely pass forward from Ryan Yates. And Awoniyi involved in the build-up as well, held it up beautifully, and then Yates pinged the ball forward towards Gibbs-White, and 2 on 1, Gibbs-White for Jota, and Jota fires home low past Alex Palmer, and thousands of Ipswich fans head for the exits, and Forest lead by 4 goals to 1.
A centre-half, third centre-half.
Yates has headed this away from the penalty area, and Elanga's chased after it and gets to it and is racing through the United half with Gibbs-White to his left. Elanga goes on, and Elanga scores! Oh, what a goal for the former Manchester United man! Magnificent from Anthony Elanga, who ran from inside his own half and all the way had Gibbs-White to his left, and he decided not to bother. Elanga scores against Manchester United. Not much of a celebration for him, to be fair, as his teammates go and surround him. But what a goal! They had no answer to his pace. From Ryan Yates' defensive header out of his own penalty area, Elanga did the rest. Absolutely devastating from the side of his right boot, left-hand side to Williams. Williams taking on Dizazi once more. Fires in the low ball, and it's Jota who turns and scores! Jota gets Forest on the board and gets Forest back in the game. 2-1, they've deserved it for the start of the second half. We're in the 12th minute, down the left-hand side, and it's Anthony Elanga to take from the right-hand side. It'll be a right-footed, out-swinging corner. 0-0 the score, in it goes near post, doesn't beat the first man, but it's a glancing header, and Anderson drives, and Forest are in front. Deflected on its way through, but Forest have got the lead 4 minutes in. It wasn't a convincing corner from Elanga, but the header away from the near post was even less convincing, and it fell to Anderson on the edge of the penalty area, and Elliot Anderson bangs it in, and inside 5 minutes via a deflection, Forest are ahead at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Good night to take the lead, good night to go in front, and Forest have done exactly that. As Murillo rolls it down the left-hand side for Elanga, wide left position, back onto his right foot, crossing now towards Wood, that's in, that one will count. Chris Wood with a header, rose above the goalkeeper Vicario from Elanga's cross, and Forest are 2-0 ahead, and Chris Wood does have his first goal since February. He moves on to 19 for the season, and it's Spurs 0, Forest 2. Murillo with the clever free kick, rolling it down the left-hand side. Elanga turned onto his right foot and crossed right onto the head of Chris Wood, who jumped in front of Vicario and deftly sent it into the Spurs net. Footed out-swinging corner, headed away as far as Neco Williams takes a touch. Hits and deflected in by Murillo. Murillo gets a touch, and it flies in off the Brazilian, who scores for the second time in his Forest career. He almost scored a spectacular goal here at Selhurst Park last season. Well, it's nothing like as spectacular as that this time around. Neco Williams' shot deflected in by Murillo, and it's 1-1. Murillo celebrates in front of the Forest fans. To take. In it comes now, and Gibbs-White heads in! Morgan Gibbs-White gets the equalising goal! It hasn't taken Forest long. 9 minutes after they went behind, the free kick from Anthony Elanga, and Gibbs-White rose 6 yards, deft header, and Forest are level against Leicester City. Gibbs-White's 6th goal of the season, celebrates by tucking a ball under his shirt and sucking his thumb. I think we all know what that means. Second half anyway. Here's Aina for Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White looks up, delivers a ball to Chris Wood. What a goal! Morgan Gibbs-White with a beautifully delivered pass over the top and Chris Wood running onto it, steers his header beyond Stolarczyk in goal and puts Forest in front, and in doing so notches his 20th goal of the season. Chris Wood scores, Gibbs-White assists, Forest lead Leicester by 2 goals to 1 and have a foot in Europe for next season.
Brilliant header.
But he certainly was dragged down a little bit. And certainly his shirt was tugged. That's given away. And Morgan Gibbs-White fires home. Alphonse Areola just laid the ball straight to Gibbs-White, 16 yards out. And Morgan Gibbs-White scores for Forest after 11 minutes. Gibbs-White scores, immediately goes across to get a Taiwo Awoniyi shirt, which he holds up now in the corner here at the London Stadium. He gives that Taiwo Awoniyi shirt a kiss, having been gifted the ball by Alphonse Areola as Elanga prepares to take the free kick. And it comes from Elanga, right-footed, fizzed in, goal! Gibbs-White again, I think, with a touch at the near post. If there was any touch, it's Gibbs-White. If not, it's Elanga. Fizz delivery from the left-hand side, right-footed, and curls into the net. I think Morgan Gibbs-White might have got the faintest of touches. Milenković maybe as well is in there at the near post, and he seems to be getting some congratulations.